on his feet, and he had a balance of 7 minutes. So, Senator Boni, you can take it from there.
Thank you. Mr. Speaker, before the House adjourned prematurely, it was because I was critiquing this bill because of its content. And people got unhappy, and they rudely stopped me. I begged them not to stop me again. Members, this is a very important bill because the population of Kenya is young. The number of young parents can only increase. The number of child parents runs the risk of also increasing. So such a law, we should make it watertight. We should critique it. Look, Mr. Speaker, if you look at the provision of starting from Article 21, not article, but clause 21, where the bill establishes care centers, then it goes further, Mr. Speaker, sir, and it establishes the terms and conditions and the legislative requirements for what should be taking place within the care centers. And finally, Mr. Speaker, it goes on and speaks to inspection and evaluation of safety in care centers. This should not be part of the bill. We should delete the entirety, 21, 22, 23, all the way. Reason? It is because, Mr. Speaker, whoever was drafting this bill forgot two primary issues. The first one is that today we have the Children's Act of 2022. These provisions that I've said they should be knocked out contravene the provisions of the Children's Act 2022. And secondly, the Republic of Kenya is a signatory to the United Nations Convention and protocols to the rights of children. These particular pacts that I'm saying we delete are in contravention with that. Why? Mr. Speaker, because it has now been established socially and scientifically that the best place for a child to grow from, especially when they are under 5 years, is in the family unit or within their community. Anywhere else exposes the child to the problems which you know exist in the child care centers. That is where you find little children are being abused sexually. In the child care centers is where you find, Mr. Speaker, the problem of child trafficking. It is therefore also the policy of the Kenya Kwanza government that within the next 10 years, in compliance with the Children's Act 2022, all child care centers and orphanages will be closed down. Mr. Speaker, my next comment in critiquing this bill is if you go, Mr. Speaker, to clause 10. Clause 10 tells us in 10.3 that the principal of a school shall not inform a parent or guardian if the child is pregnant. Now, Mr. Speaker, if you stop the principal of the school from appealing to parents about the status of their child, where do you want the headmistress to take the pregnant child? If not to the parents, the best person to receive that child who is pregnant is not the principal of the school. It is the parents. Then the parents will know how to deal with the problem that they have. Now, when this bill proposes, Mr. Speaker, that pregnant children should remain in school, are you telling me that our teachers are trained to be, beyond teachers, they are also trained to be nurses, to provide antenatal care, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we must create laws that are in tandem with reality on the ground. In clause 14 and 15, this bill is proposing that if a teacher is found to be responsible for the pregnancy of a child in that school, the only thing that should happen to the teacher is that the teacher should be reported to the Teacher Service Commission. Really? We should legislate firmly that if a teacher is established to have impregnated a student, that teacher should A, immediately lose his job, and B, that teacher should be reported to the police, and C, that teacher should be charged for the offense of causing grievous bodily harm. A teacher who makes a child pregnant causes grievous harm to that child, and therefore, if found guilty, should be sentenced, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, in this particular law, we are going further and say in clause 18 that a parent or guardian of a child who falls pregnant shall not be discharged from their responsibility regarding the pregnant child and shall not collaborate with the institution on basic education in supporting and maintaining the health of the child. This clause is again supporting the earlier clause in 10 to attempt to keep a young pregnant woman, a young pregnant child in school, in whose care. I want to appeal to members of this House, as a professional in this area, that pregnancy is a high-risk condition. Pregnant mothers die. So when you leave her in the hands of the teacher, the other children have gone to class, and she's in the dormitory. With those remarks, I support and propose that I'll make amendments. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Senator Boni. In your last submission to that particular bill, I believe you definitely might need to also